celebrate this with you and also show you what this book is about and kind of go into the particulars. That's what I'm really excited about, like this resource for you. And so, yeah. Should I just start it, Joy? All right, so let's just start with the 3 ohms. Auspicious. Oh, and I'll show you. I've got my friends here with me. I've got Ganesh here, and Shiva, and Hanuman on either side. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, right? Like sharing this epic work with you, with the world. But I'm also delighted, and so here we go. With a few ohms, send out into the cosmos the affirmation. Okay, well, so here's, I actually only have a test copy. I'm supposed to be getting the books today.
No, but that's the book.
Yeah, this is the book. It's the thing, but no, it's a test copy. But it's coming. I'm leaving for Europe tomorrow, and I'm hoping the books come in time so I can bring some. But anyway, here it is. And so the first thing I want to do, though, is just kind of go through it with you, like what is in here. And at the beginning of the book, there's at the beginning there's a section that's called Keys to the Grid, okay, and so a lot of what I'm going to tell you is in that little page in the book, but I'm still just going to go through it with you. So for one, it's 200 pages of 8.5 by 11. So it's packed with information, and yet the way it's been meticulously organized, and that's one of the reasons it took almost 15 years to make it. Okay, and so it's easy to access all the information, like it's arranged beautifully, okay, and it's arranged in layers, okay, and so that's what I'm gonna. Oh, and there is a original instruction for every single vinyasa in the primary series. Okay, so there's no stock ones like when you jump back or jump through. Every time there's a photograph of that between every pose with a caption and at least one bullet point that's all unique unto itself. So that's an outstanding thing all of its own that only came about through insanity, basically. But so I'm going to show you the basic thing. So it starts with what I call like a macro timeline that the kind of a thing that you would get from like online or from a Lino Malay's book. So that the basic, most bare bones vinyasa information is included. Okay, so if you look, here's a page of Padahastasana. So it says the posture name, and then everything above that line is just the broad stroke. Okay, so it gives you the vinyasa number, and then the breath, the basic breath that goes with it. Okay, and that goes all the way through the book. All right, but then it right beneath that line, right beneath the that horizontal line is what I call a kind of micro timeline, a micro breath timeline, and what you can see is that what's unique about this book is that this is what's amazing. Okay, so some vinyasas have extra breaths, extra movements, and extra positions. Okay, and those, I've never seen them in any other book about Ashtanga, but they're here, they're all here. Okay, and so basically for every extra position, every kind of important extra position, there's a photograph, a caption, and bullet points. Okay, and so if you look, you can see that, like, for instance, we're in Padahastasana. Okay, so, and we are coming out of Padahastasana. So coming out of it, there's three, sorry, let me see here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 3 columns, right? So you've got 1, 2, and 3, and that's all third position. Okay, and if you do like a lead primary class, right? It'll just be like trainee, inhale, head up, exhale, samasthiti, right? So you're expected to know that information and kind of fill in the blanks, okay? But here I've taught it to you, I've spelled it out, and so I'm going to read from that so you can get an idea of what's there. Okay, so the first column of that third position, it says, okay, and let me tell you this, that another layer is that there's, under every photo, there's a caption, okay, and that caption is, it's a brief synopsis of the action, and it goes all the way through. You can read that, those captions to the photos right across through the whole series, and it will make sense. Okay, and then underneath the caption is where the bullet points start, and they get into more detail about doing the transition. Okay, and I'm going to get into that with you here now. All right, so in the third position, when you're ready to come out of the pose, all right, so then it goes strike setup position. Okay, and so that setup position is the halfway position that you took coming into the pose, and then the second column caption, where the photo is the hands to the waist in the horizontal spine. Okay, so it says bring hands to waist, hold in position for complete exhalation. All right, so many people miss that little moment. All right, and then finally the third column in this third vinyasa is root legs and sweep torso up to standing. All right, and so then I'm going to go through these bullet points with you, and as you go through the bullet points, then you start to see why this is important and why it matters that you know this kind of thing. And one of the things I will tell you is that a teacher, Patabi Joyce, the founder of Ashtanga, he used to say that Ashtanga's practice is all including. And what he meant by that was that the important technology, the important aspects of the technology of Hatha Yoga are right there, designed into the practice. Okay, so that means that it's not just asana, that it will teach you pranayama, it'll teach you bandhas, it'll teach you these different aspects of the practice. Okay, but then there's also another saying he said, which was, do your practice and all is coming. Okay, and that statement has been widely misinterpreted, in my opinion. And because it doesn't mean that you just get on your mat and do your series, 5 breaths per time, 1 transition, 5 breaths, and then do that every day. And then all of it's going to be revealed to you. It's just not that simple. And what it means is really do your practice. Really open up into an exploration of the whole Ashtanga method, Hatha Yoga, and then all is coming. And it's not realistic to expect that as a novice or a beginner student, and that beginner phase lasts for years in yoga. It's not realistic to think that you can pick up on, like, what's the reason that you stop at that halfway point and put your hands to your waist and breathe out there. You see, and it's clear that people don't understand the reason because it's so often overlooked and bypassed, okay? And so you actually need to target your training, and this book helps you to do it. Okay, so let me just give you an example. So when you lift up to the halfway point, here's the bullet points. It says, lift your head, pull up through your extended arms, and stamp down on your hands with your feet. Okay, that's bullet point number 1. And then number 2 is pause, shift forward, and commit your body to this unusual position. I like it. Okay, then the next column, where the caption is bring hands to waist, hold in position for a complete exhalation. Okay, and that also tunes you into the fact that there's an extra breath there. Okay, and that's where you see on the micro timeline. See, here's 3rd position, inhale, but there's an exhale and then another inhale. Okay, and this is all mapped out for you there. Okay, and so then here we go with the bullet points. Okay, so it says, use this unlikely intermediate position to catch the elusive prize of these belly flying up gesture, right? And then it gives you the steps in a series of mini bullet points. So what it says is stop cleanly at the halfway point and stay put. Then direct the force of your out breath down your spine to your pelvic floor. Okay, next bullet point, grip your waist with your hands and brace your arms. The next bullet point, root back your thighs and project your spine forward in rapid succession. Okay, and then finally, hold steady with patience and marvel as your entire abdomen flies up into a hollow in a flash. Yeah, and you see, this is what's so amazing about Ashtanga and the Vinyasa structure. Okay, so it literally is all including. So how to learn Uddiyana Bandha is built into the design of the system. Okay, and understand that Ashtanga, that's revolutionary for Hatha Yoga, because before Ashtanga, the only real recourse you had was like seated meditation, or there's that standing one where you do this and hold. But this is something very different, to be in the midst of flowing through a sequence of postures and kind of build in this positioning with breath and dynamism that like gets you into the rhythm and into the spirit of the thing in a completely original and powerful way. But you've got to grab on to the technology if you want to do your practice, and all is coming. Okay, and then let's see, do you want the cover? Yeah, then the third column of the 3rd Vinyasa, it says, from the halfway point, inhale and swing your body upright with a sure move. And that's the first bullet point. Second one is seek maximal length through your spine and legs as you bring your head and torso up from horizontal to vertical. Okay, and then finally, the third bullet point, visualize drawing a large diameter quarter circle with your head as you come up, right? So it's a circular action, getting yourself up from that halfway point. Okay, and then there's little surprises all throughout this book. All right, and so when you return to Samastitihi, it's a two-step process, and so the caption is, first caption is bend knees and lower hips into a half squat. So you make a crouch, and then the caption that's under Samastitihi. So you've got two columns for returning to Samastitihi: the crouch and the spring to Samastitihi. Okay, and here's the instructions for coming to Samastitihi. I love this. So it says, well, the caption is strike Samastitihi Pratibha. Okay, Pratibha. Now, most people many people won't know what Pratibha is. But so here's the bullet points. So it goes, hop your feet together dexterously. Extend your arms and legs and instantly strike a tall, delightful stance along the vertical axis. Okay, and then there's what I call, see, this is a special feature of this book, a Vinyasa meta view. Okay, and so I throw these in periodically, and they give you like a little more universal, a little more applying to all life circumstances, or something pithy or sacred, pointing to something more profound about what you are doing. Not just a physical thing, not just a catching a bandha, but going beyond that into like the core of your life, of your path here, and how to walk it skillfully. Okay, and so here's what this meta view says. It says the Sanskrit word pratibha is one of the greatest words ever spoken. Okay, it means 1, to manifest instantly. 2, to appear suddenly. 3, brilliancy of conception. 4, to shine, appear bright or luminous. 5, boldness, confidence. 6, genius. And then, so there's your list, and then it says strike your asana pratibha. Manifest a brilliantly conceived form instantly. Embody your shape boldly and swiftly, like a lightning bolt flashing across the night sky. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, and this is an amazing thing because one of my intentions for this book was to keep illustrating and helping you remember that the whole spectrum of yoga is found in that very practice that you do. Okay, so it's a very physical thing, very gymnastic and athletic, and takes strength and flexibility, and you want those things, but there's much more to it. There's layers and layers that you can unfold and discover and become privy to, and enhance your time, your brief little moment here in embodied, conscious. Okay, so I'm going to go to another. This is so. one amazing thing about this, the process of Ashtanga is the repetition, right? That there's so much, there's a certain amount of monotony to the process, which is very helpful. Okay, and that's kind of what I'm going to illustrate here. And we're going to go to Prasarita Padottanasana A, the exit. Okay, so there's 5 vinyasa in that, and they're all mapped out for you here. Okay, but we're going to focus in on the second half and in that this spectrum. And so what you've got is third position is the state of the asana. That's where you fold forward and you stay for your 5 to 8 breath duration. Okay, then fourth position is coming up to the halfway point. See, it's a repeated theme. And striking this setup position at halfway on the way into your pose before you fold, and then on the way out instead of just coming up. Okay, and so partly it's a meditative device, right? It keeps you in the moment. But also it's what we've seen. There's technology in it. So it's not just to stay present. It's to catch bandhas and do really cool stuff where you can't really get at that stuff very easily other ways. Okay, so here we go. I'll just go through it quicker because it's the same thing. But it's articulated a little bit different, and it's a slightly different circumstance. Your legs are wide instead of your hands under your feet. But so here it goes. The caption, we're coming up to the halfway point, is lift head, strike setup, strike halfway setup position. Okay, then there's the next column is hands to waist and hold it halfway setup. And then finally the fifth position is come upright. Okay, and then the bullet points, here we go through the bullet points, right? Which is, so for we're talking about the fourth vinyasa, which has 2 columns in it. Okay, so here's the first bullet point for the first column. It says, raise your spine up to horizontal, extend your arms, stop in place, and instantly stabilize your limbs. Okay, second bullet point, vertically align your hips, knees, and ankles. Right? Hips, knees, ankles vertically aligned, and also your shoulders, elbows, wrists. Okay, then center your spine nicely between your forelimbs. Sorry, I love this. It's just so clear. Oh. Okay, then hold steady as you brace your limbs, project your spine forward, and inhale. Okay, that's all with an inhalation. Okay, and then if you look at your mini breathing timeline, that's what we just described, and it's all with the inhale. But now we're going to go here and with the exhale. So you don't just come out, right? No, you do this. You stay put with patience and direct the flow of your exhalation down your spine to its base. And then use this unlikely position to catch the belly flying up gesture. So it's the same. Grip your waist with your hands. Exhale skillfully down the central axis to your pelvic floor. Brace your limbs, project your spine forward, and effortlessly suck your belly into a hollow. Okay, and then there's a Vinyasa meta view there. And it says, here it is. You guys. Yogis know this halfway setup position as an oasis. One of many auspicious stopping points in the primary series where it's easy to drink deep from the secret well of bandhas and gain great vitality. Oh, man. Whew. Okay, let me see where we're going next. what time is it here? 11:26. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to take a little tiny moment at Paschimottanasana. Okay, and so one of the things that I want to, that I intended to do with this book is to, sorry, just 1 second. Yeah, is to give you what I call the mentality of the crouch and spring for your transitions, okay? And it's a whole language, and it's built into the book, all right? And it's built into the Ashtanga structure already. It's not something I made up or put into it. It's already there, okay? And I have a set of asana principles that I teach and practice by, and the second asana principle is that there's only one mentality behind every transition, okay? And and that mentality is what I call the crouch and spring, so that there's always a setup for the action, and that's the first part. So there's a setup for the action, a crouch, and then there's the action, a pure movement of committed action that we call the spring, and then there's the destination, okay? So you're working to create a crouch and a spring every time you move. And sometimes it's explicit, like when you are in downward dog and you're going to jump through to a seated posture, right? You make a crouch, an animal move, hunker down and then spring through. But you do it when you reach your arms up to go into Surya Namaskara A or come down. That there's the mentality of kind of storing up force for action and then executing action with confidence and skill. And in that sense, to me, it's a very revolutionary thought about practicing yoga, right? Because even people that practice Ashtanga, it's very easy to only get focused on the asana itself, okay? And only think that that's where the development or the mastery or the whatever you want, the reward is in like doing the pose. And never mind how you got there, right? Like the whole idea of how you got there is sort of often skipped over, okay? And what I have done with this book is brought the transition up to its deserved equal status to the position itself. Okay, so now and this is great news for you, because now you can open up this whole dimension of practice by thinking of that you want to develop skill in this particular transition. You want to master the transition just as bad as you want to master the pose. And they're totally related, right? I emphasize that in this book, and I say it, that the quality of your transition determines the quality of the resulting position. Okay, but that we don't think it's not automatic thinking, and it's one of the reasons that there's that old saying that the ends don't justify the means. Okay, and so, but if you want to put that in the positive, which I try to do in this book, the means, skillful means gives you a skillful end. Okay, whereas unskillful means don't give you they give you an unskillful end, even if it may not appear like it at first. Okay, and so there's a big teaching in Ashtanga. And it's right there for us to develop, but we've also been missing it because we get so focused on you just transition and do those 5 breaths and move on. That there's always this premium on flow. And what I'm telling you is that you have to break down the transitions and really study and analyze and rehearse and do them more than once in a practice some days. And it's kind of wild to me because this is very sound kind of modern exercise science. And what I have a joke, but it's actually not a joke. It's true. And I would say that if you turn the transitions of Ashtanga, first series, second series, into drills, which I do in my teaching, you get Pilates. Yeah, it's quite amazing. Like that, all those feeds on Instagram, those wonderful ex-ballerinas and ballet people they're doing amazing stuff. I really admire it and think that just the precision and it's quite extraordinary. And I aim to bring that kind of precision and to my transitions when I do Ashtanga, and it's time for that, people. Okay, so the time is over where you just kind of go for your best little version once per day, and right, that we have to study and really look into those. What's the crouch? What's the spring? What's the destination? And develop it. And it's a joyous exploration because it's all about what the Bhagavad Gita is about. Skill in action. It's amazing. That's how the Bhagavad Gita defines yoga. Yoga is skill in action. Okay? It's not, and right, which you have this whole opposite idea that yoga is a cessation of action, right? That it's nirodha, which it is. But also yoga is the action itself. And so you have to, and Ashtanga, our system is built for embracing action to the fullest. Okay, and so here's the very first jump through to a seated position. I'm going to read that to you. And you can see that it's quite something. The 7th Vinyasa has 4 columns. Okay? So Sapta Vinyasa, it's got all of those positionings. It's got the crouch, the spring, the stopping in Dandasana, and the coming to the setup before the fold. Okay? And notice that there's a breathing protocol for each one of those columns, which reads, so it's the exhale is the crouch, and then inhale is the spring, and then it's 5 to 8 breaths in Dandasana. It's a little bit of an anomaly, right? You don't do that normally. And then it's an inhale before you fold. Okay, but I want to read to you under the crouch. So that's just the caption is crouch. And you can see that, one other amazing feature of this book, you can see that there's different models, right? There's like, I don't know the exact number, but in the neighborhood of 8 different bodies doing the stuff. Okay, not just one white dude. But the white dude is in there, and he has a mean crouch. So there it is. Okay, and so here's the bullet points. Turn your attention to the all-important crouch before the spring. Okay, that's first bullet point. Second bullet point. Playfully lower your body towards the earth and practice the great skill of exhaling. See, the crouch and the exhale are synonymous. Partly you crouch in order to exhale. Genuine, full, expressive. Okay, then hunker back by driving your hips away from your rooted hands. And then finally, pointedly store up force in your legs and belly. And prepare in earnest for a great leap. I love it. Okay, so the next is the photo is the spring forward, and that's the caption in this case. It won't always be that. It changes. Everyone has a different caption. Every crouch and spring, if you can believe it, and different instructions. Like that 60 times or more, you get a different. And Joy pointed it out to me that for one, people will finally hear things. You know, it takes everyone hears it different, and so one of those ways is going to connect with you. But then the other thing about the fact that everyone is different is that that's what's happening in practice, and you don't want to start doing your vinyasas just by rote, which is what we do. They're just like a throwaway part of practice. You just kind of do them dutifully, thinking that we're going to get all the benefit just by doing it. But no, we have to be there with every single one, making it new because it is new, right? We're in the midst of constant change, and so that the time before is not the same as this time or the time that's going to come. Okay. So the spring forward just says, like a pouncing cat, jump forward suddenly. Okay. And then I'm going to not go for the rest of that column, but go for the exit. Okay. Because I want to kind of detail that for you. Oh, wait, was there a meta view in there? Oh. No, I got to do that. I'm sorry. Okay, so we are going to skip the Dandasana and go to the setup. Okay, so that's your move before you fold forward. There, that one, and then there's the state of the asana folding forward. Okay, so I'll just read it to you quick. The caption: grip toes, strike setup position. Okay, and then reach forward. As the first bullet, reach forward. Grip your big toes and get ready for action. Second bullet point, stamp down your thighs and lengthen your legs from your hips to your feet. And then pull back with your arms. Lift your chest mightily and fly your belly up into a hollow. And then finally, understand the wisdom of getting ready for action before taking action. All right, and then there's a meta view. Okay, and here's the meta view. It says, oh, wait a minute, let me see this, sorry. No, okay, all right. So it says, dear student, let me tell you just how important the setup position is. Okay, so like your shadow always follows you. Yeah, your shadow always follows you, right? But then the pose always follows the setup. And so to take it further, one step further, the great hidden self that dwells within you is the source of your smaller physical self, just like the setup position is the profound hidden source of your pose. Okay, so there's that. Oh, okay, hold on, I need a little breather. So I got flowers for the occasion, but I don't have room for them. So here they are. And so I hope you're getting it. Yeah, you're getting a taste of what's in this thing, huh? So we still haven't done the Asana kitchen. What do you think, Joy? Should I do the Asana kitchen?
Yeah. Do you want to tell them anything about the purchasing the book if they're out of the country and any of those details?
Oh, okay. Well, let me just tell you a couple of things about the book. All right. So if you're in the USA, you can order off my website this spiral bound hardcover. Okay, that I recommend. Unfortunately, it's prohibitive shipping costs outside the USA, so you can get this soft cover edition, which is same content. And this line here is because it's a test copy. Okay, it won't have that line in it. And so you can go on Amazon in your country, okay, and there's a little glitch at the moment. So if you click on if you Google it, it's not there, because I think the keywords, they're too strong, like Ashtanga, yoga, Vinyasa, so it doesn't come up. Okay, even if you write Ashtanga, yoga, Vinyasa, David Garrigues, it doesn't come up. And then if you go to maps and musings, or teaching yoga with verbal cues will come up. And even like Vayu Siddhi, but it's hard to find that darn book. But here's how you do it. You click on my name. It's like in blue or something. And if you click on my name, there it'll be. And it is there. So just be patient. And I'm thinking that with enough purchases, it's going to stop doing that. It's going to start showing up. Or I don't know, maybe I'll have to call them or something. But at the moment, it's a little bit tricky to find. But it's there. Okay?
And you could tell them if they really want that hard copy and they live outside the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you really want the hard copy and you live outside the country and you're willing to pay the shipping, you can message me. It's going to be between $25 and $40, depending on what region you're in, somewhere in that range, to ship it, so that you can understand why we didn't do it. But and then I will, if I get the books today, I'll be bringing some to Europe, a few, not too many, but there would be an opportunity if you're at my workshop, or possibly there's possibility of mailing it to you as well. But that's a little bit fluid at the moment, depending on all these different variables. Okay, so that's that.
But we will try to always have some of the hardback version at workshops.
Yeah, whenever we travel, we'll try to bring those hardback versions so that people can get them outside the USA, especially the hardcore DG students. We want you to have that because it's really nice. I love I really like the way it came out.
And also, let's just do before a shout out to Ashley Lowe, Laura McNamara.
Yeah, I got it. It's on
Okay.
my list. Thank the team. That's on my list. So, but and this is what's amazing. There's no chance I could have made this book without other people. Like there's zero, right? And it's not an exaggeration, this 15 years that it took to write it. And so there's been various helpers along the way. And then there's a present team that helped me drive it home to the finish. Okay, but Joanna Darlington, I don't know if she's here, but she helped me a ton. I thank her. And then also Shelley Enlow helped me with it, and others too. But then my present team that's really been with me here in the last few years, because it is Ashley Lowe with we powwowed on that layout. We went back and forth. So, and she did it just unstintingly, never ever getting fed up. And then Laura McNamara is the other person that's helped a ton. And so I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, there's just no chance it would have happened without other people. And Joy helped, of course. She's always, always helping. And Joy, what she would do is like, this happened like several times. So I think I'm getting to the end, right? Like it happened, I don't know, 5 years ago, 3 years, it's kind of progressively. So I think like, whoa, yeah, this is so good. And then Joy comes in and she starts editing it, and then she points out this one thing. But that one thing has to be changed. It changes the whole structure of the book. So it's like, okay, back to the drawing board. Here you go. Like you just made me like, 5 months more work. And at first I'm like, no, it's good like it is. And then, sleeping on it, and it's like, damn it, that's gonna make it better. And so, yes.
Okay, now Asana Kitchen.
Really? I don't know if I have it in me to do the Asana Kitchen. Really? You gotta do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so, okay, well, we'll do the Asana Kitchen then. We'll do it. And I'm gonna bring on Amina to be the model. And I do want or offer you to invite you to get out your mats and try it. What we're gonna do. And it's gonna be very basic. Let's see here. Let me get you going here. Oh no, you didn't request to join. Okay, I will request you to join. Okay, I just invited you. Hopefully you're there. Okay, here she comes. Thank you, Amina, for being here. Everybody. This is Amina from Marseille. All right, so what we're going to focus on is the transition to upward facing dog. All right, and so we're going to do a couple of little exercises first. And number one is lay down on your belly. Actually, no.